The C-5 Galaxy, one of the largest aircraft in the world, is the largest and most strategic cargo aircraft on the U.S. Air Force inventory. This Lockheed Martin aircraft is designed as a military heavy-duty cargo aircraft that has the ability and readiness to carry enormous amounts of cargo through the air to anywhere in the world, whether for military logistics, battlefields, or other non-military missions. According to Air Force historian John Leland, the C-5 symbolizes size, power, and majesty, so it can be said that the C-5 Galaxy is the key to the current U.S. military strategic air transport capabilities. The C-5 Galaxy, which is much larger than the two military carriers that have been famous for their fame, namely the C-130 Hercules and the C-17 Globemaster III, makes the C-5 Galaxy the largest carrier in the U.S. military inventory. With a massive weight of 346,771 kilograms, any other type of aircraft looked small at the time. Before the arrival of the Russian An-124 Condor in 1982. The C-5A Galaxy, capable of carrying two major US M1 Abrams tanks, each weighing up to 60 tons, can carry 10 light steel vehicles, 7 A-1 Huey helicopters or 6 A-64 Apache attack helicopters, and a variety of other large cargo. The bottom deck is capable of carrying 270 armed combat troops and also has the ability to carry out umbrella drop operations, although the C-5 is rarely used for landing operations. The front and rear of the aircraft can be opened to speed up the loading process. The C-5 Galaxy first flew in 1968 and entered operational service in the USAU in 1970. In the history of its production, several upgrades have been made to produce a number of major variants of the aircraft, namely the C-5A, C-5B, and C-5C, and its latest version today, the C-5M, known as the Super Galaxy, which can be unloaded and inserted quickly from the front and back simultaneously. The C-5 Galaxy Kipper in the U.S. military has been tested in a number of major military operations conducted by U.S. military forces in Vietnam, Iraq, Yugoslavia, and Afghanistan. In historical records, one of its greatest roles when the U.S. led a multinational force was to launch Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm in the 1990-1991 Middle East to expel Iraqi troops from Kuwait. Overall, strategic air transportation to the Persian Gulf during Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm was the largest since World War II. After the truce, it is recorded that the combined Air Force carriers have moved 482,000 people and 513,000 tons of cargo, mostly carried out by the U.S. strategic carrier C-5 Galaxy. Excellent in a war emergency situation, the C-5 Galaxy is capable of taking off and landing with full load at relatively short distances and on a modest airbase. The heavy weight of the C-5 Galaxy was effectively distributed on its 28-wheel landing wheel. Generally speaking, with a maximum cargo load, the C-5 Galaxy can take off from a 2,500-meter runway and land on a 1,500-meter runway. By comparison, the largest commercial aircraft, the Airbus A380, requires 3,000 meters of runway to take off, whereas a Boeing 747 jumbo jet requires a 3,100 meters long course to take off. The C-5 is a massive aircraft with a huge historical role, so it represents a reliable U.S. military force for at least the 2030s, while the latest C-5M Super Galaxy is designed with modern avionics and aviation instruments and will remain operational to this day.